You're listening to Mr. Suave at MrSuave.com.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
It's a mod world.
Dancing, music, champagne. The best way to forget until you find something you want to remember.
Got a feeling coming on and it's one that's just right. Nobody could read it from me if they tried. I'm ready to go. I've got music in my soul. Tonight's the night where I let it roll, unless these troubles can't take their toll. There's a real buzz in the air. For anyone that knocks it dead, that must have been said. Why can't it steal? It's got the mood set. I'm ready to go. I've got music in my soul. Tonight's the night where I let it roll, unless these troubles can't take their toll. The room's electric, dust from the bar can't settle. Feeling energy that's kinetic, as the floor starts to rumble and the windows rattle. I've got music in my soul. Tonight's the nights where I let it roll, unless these troubles can't take their toll.
Do you think she's talented? Deeply and importantly talented?
No. Amusingly and superficially talented, yes, but deeply and importantly, no.
Here he is, a man who likes to think gin needs him too. The founder, producer, and mixologist of the Modcast, Mr. Suave.
Break's over. Everyone on their heads. That's right, kids. We're headed into 2020 overtime, it looks like, and it's time for business. 2021 certainly starting to look like 2020 did, so maybe it's 2020 2.0 or 2020 on steroids. This is like December 43rd, 2020. Yikes, right? Mr. Suave here, and welcome to the new year. Looking back at last year, actually. Let's hope that The 2.0 version of 2020 holds true for the tunes this year because, in spite of everything last year, I thought 2020 produced some great music. As I am wont to do, I'm bringing you my faves of 2020. Every year I'll look back at the previous year and see what was good about it. Are these the best of the year? Maybe, maybe not. But they're all great tunes from some great albums by great artists, and I liked them. That's all that matters to me. Best of annual shows are interesting to say the least. They kind of piss me off, especially the ones that land the day after Halloween, November 1st. With 2 months left in the year, somebody's got the best albums of 2020. Really? You're missing 2 months worth of releases there, fella. Too early. Just too early. That's why I wait until January. I'll look back at the actual year. The other mistake people make is too many. I see a best of list and it's got 150 albums from 2020 and it's part 1. I'm like, geez, man, make the tough choices. That's what we're paying you for. Narrow it down a bit. I get it. There was a lot of music you listened to last year. Not everything can be your favorite or the best. That's just the way life is. Man, do I sound grumpy or what? Boy, this year's off to like a Monday sort of start, isn't it? Anyhow. Here I am, doing my best of 2020 show, or at least the things that I liked best. I kicked off the show with a track from UK Mod's Sharp Class, with their very cool, very mod, totally wired power pop anthem, Ready to Go. That one's just quintessentially mod, has that revivalist feel to it, the driving backbeat, has a very jam kind of vibe, which is always a good thing. It's kind of in line with other contemporary bands, RAF and Spitfires. Hey, RAF, Spitfires, just noticed a theme there. Anyhow, Sharp Class have those same sort of power pop chops. The Northampton trio was calling themselves Subculture the past couple of years, and then the start of this past year, I think they changed the band's name to Sharp Class. Not sure why, but maybe I'll find out here in the near future as I am going to be interviewing the band for an upcoming Modcast. They have a nice handful of originals to their credits, both Subculture and Sharp Class, and they also do some really tight killer covers of traditional mod sounds from the Kinks, the Jams, Small Faces, and so on. In fact, I've got a live stream video they did at Christmas on Facebook. It's up on the Modcast homepage at mrsuave.com. You definitely want to catch that. Features a nice set from the band in the middle, but also starts and ends with some really good solo acoustic tracks by the band's frontman, Oliver Orton. So be sure to check that out at mrsuave.com. As always, you can get the full track list over at Suave HQ, mrsuave.com. Don't forget to spell out that Mr. And in addition to that live stream from Sharp Class, I've got a video set of a few bands that I just couldn't squeeze into the show. I know I just ranted about people who pick too many things, but these ones didn't make the final cut, so to speak, but they definitely needed an honorable mention. So the videos are up there at mrsuave.com. Alright, lots of good stuff coming up. So stay tuned, so to speak. Here is Subsetters with Promises and Misery.
is there to play captain of your own team? You're making all of the rules. Celebrity and the fame, your face all over the stage. The billboards and commercial breaks. Is this how you wanna win? Lying while you're smiling. I promise to make a change. Your fingers near the trigger, back here you deliver. Your victory speech.
Mr. Suave's Mod World, the web's original and longest-running modcast, celebrating mod-influenced music, including soul, ska, garage, 60s, R&B, power pop, punk, britpop, acid jazz, lounge, easy listening, and more. Tune into Mr. Suave's Mod World at MrSuave.com.
Pulled it off perfectly styling. A photo session isn't for smiling. That wouldn't be cruel, but now it's just cruel. After putting all those mayhem miles in. Somewhere you must be two-wheeling and feeling what you should be feeling. The wind all around, we're seeing the sound. Too bright and we go tires peeling. Your tank is filled up with stories. Disaster nights, morning glories. The cars and guitars that got away. The friends that are speeding here today. So get on that Honda and ride. What's better on the other side? Your mods never really grow old. You can't sell out what's never been sold. The warmth of the sun is gone cold, and some stories won't ever unfold.
Why would a woman come over at 1:30 in the morning to see you?
Just why do you think, bonehead?
Welcome back to Modcast number 470, 20 for 2020. What kind of year would it be without some kick-ass punk rock? And who better to deliver that than the band that's been doing it for 40 years? Jeez, that's a long time. Now I feel old. That was the legendary X right there with Star Chamber. And no, that is not off of Under the Big Black Sun or anything like that. That track is brand new and off of their latest album, Alphabet Land. But it sounds like pure ecstasy, doesn't it? Hear what I did there? Yeah, it sounds like X did back in the day. Interestingly, X sounds today like they did then, and that's one of the reasons I love them for their longevity. Alphabet Land is the perfect next chapter for X. Kind of their first real album, I guess, in about 30 years. And since Billy Zoom kicked his cancer, which is a good thing. I was supposed to see them here in Seattle last year, but obviously COVID threw a monkey wrench into that plan. Like everyone else, they are itching to get out and play live, I bet. Can you even imagine all the bands that are going to be touring next year after the lockdowns are over? That's the light at the end of the tunnel for me. Ahead of X was another veteran acts, the Yum Yums, who've been doing the pop punk thing as long as anyone, probably before it was even properly called pop punk. That was Baby 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 off of For Those About to Pop from Rumbar Records. And just before that was Seattle's own Young Fresh Fellows with their homage to The Who and Quadrophenia. Man, For All the World sounds like it could have come right off the original Quad album, doesn't it? That one is called A Young Mod's Last Ride, and it's off of their umpteenth album. That album, last summer's Toxic Youth. It's a really fun listen with all the mix and mash you could kind of expect from the Fellows, from sort of modish power pop like that track to poppy, psych punk, garage rock, and it's just all rock and roll in the end, I guess. At the start of that set, probably the modest sounding bunch of tracks up there at the top of that. You heard the Speedways with Good Girls Don't Break Hearts from their very excellent Radio Sounds album. Right up ahead of that, I played a sort of 80s soul-sounding power pop from the Spitfires. That was Tear This Place Right Down. And their latest release, Life Worth Living. And way up top of that set, getting it all going, was the Subsetters with Promises and Misery, which it is off their new album, but I guess dates back to when the man was known as Levi a few years ago. But this is still the first real official release, I guess. Their new album, I love Subsetters. They're a ska band for sure, but incorporating so many other influences to mix with that, like any really great band would, you know? And they're tight. They are going places for sure. Okay, let's move right along into our next little set of songs from 2020. Get a little bit more of a soul vibe to it here.
I know to call home. There is a space where we all belong, where we get along. There is a place to call home. There is a space where we all belong, where we get along. You reap the benefit of what you sow. Make the promise to yourself, to love the person that you are. Make time for change, make time for change, make time for change. You reap the benefit, make the promise to yourself, to love the person that you are. Make time for change, make time for change, make time for change. cause chaos wherever she goes.
Have you ever hired someone to read a story out loud while you take a shower? Well, it's awkward for everyone.
Welcome back to 2020. Or is it 2020? Anyhow, it's 20 songs from 2020. Here delivering you 20 of my favorite tracks from last year. As bad as it was for everyone, I think I can safely say the whole world suffered through that, right? It's weird when the whole world suffers through something. But we all did, and it was rough. But still, there was some great music that came out last year. Maybe the trauma of everything and the problems and all that mounted up and acted as a bit of inspiration for musicians everywhere. That last one right there was from The Sound of Pop Art. Always with good inspiration from those guys, mixing soul, jazz, easy breezy 60s tinged pop in a very sophisticated and soulful way. The song is Velvet Nights from their latest album, To Dream the Most Fabulous Dream. Before that was Yacht Rocker, and I mean that in a good way, seriously. Yacht Rocker, Joel Soracula. He might be a bit of a stretch for some of you, more of my dyed-in-the-mohair-wool mod listeners. Got his super laid-back, blue-eyed, easy-listening soul vibe. But I've always really liked him. His latest album is cool. It's got a definite sort of Steely Dan vibe to it. Again, I mean that in a good way, seriously. That track there was Midnight Driver, and the album is Companionship from Leisure Records. Just before him, you heard something more typically mod. If you remember a soul act from about 10 years back, the Florettes, then you know the core of that group right there that I played, German soul outfit. The Florettes eventually morphed into the Everettes, along with the addition of a couple of soul vocal divas, including the UK's Jess Roberts, who's recorded with a ton of people like Andy Lewis, Smoove and Terrell, McBride and the Pimptones, as well as doing her own really cool solo work over the past decade. Anyhow, that was the contemporary sound of Northern Soul right there. Sounds exactly like the old sound of Northern Soul, doesn't it? That's because it's Northern Soul. That was the Everettes, and the track is Things You Do. And damn, that album of their self-titled album, that was one of the finest put out last year. Before them, another Northern Soul number, this time from a really cool indie act that I only just recently discovered near the end of the year. The band is The Magic Gang, and they have a couple of really cool albums out, guitar-driven, power poppy indie rock, very modern and contemporary. Now they have a new album that features several very Northern Soul influenced tracks in their kind of usual rockin' mix. That one there, that was Make Time for Change from the Magic Game's album Death of the Party, which is a super tight album, well-written lyrics, finely crafted songs. Definitely want to check out the Magic Game. And just ahead of that, one of my longtime favorite indie bands, Lunchbox, back with the new album, After School Special. that very horn-focused, upbeat, soul-infused number, that was The Academy. First time I heard Lunchbox was on their debut album Evolver, which it was this kind of wild mix of twee-ish power pop meets psychedelic prog rock with some soul-infused vibes, all done by a britpop band. Think Sleeper meets Pimlico meets Camera Obscura meets Stereolab, and yeah, you're probably in the right ballpark. Anyhow, this new album, After School Special, from Slumberland Records, it's a bit more power pop focused, I think, than their earlier releases. Still get some of that dreamy synth and moody vibes of early Lunchbox, but much more guitar up front driving the whole thing. They got those horns in there with the soul influences. It all comes at a pretty breakneck pace. After School Special has it all. Reverbed keyboards, jangly guitars, funky horns, all with hints of mod pop and 60s-ish R&B. Definitely one of the gems of 2020. One of the more mod-friendly releases from last year from a, I guess you might say, non-mod band. Damn, look at that. We're halfway there and living on a... Never mind. We're halfway there. Let's just leave it at that. Well, these are my favorite 20 tracks of the past year. I had a lot of great tunes to choose from. There were some close calls. I mean, The Modfather had an absolutely sublime album released last summer, and I just skipped it. I left it out because this seems so unfair to all the other artists to just choose mostly tracks from that album. Once you remove Willard from the mix, you sort of get a level playing field. That being said, other great artists I struggled with and finally didn't make it into this Modcast include James Taylor Quartet. They had a great album. The Explorers Club. Jaded Hearts Club Band. Sort of super group out there. Lack of Afro. The Corner Laughers had a great release this year. Natalie Sweet, The Go-Go's, The Lulas, and more. I mean, that list, I'm just looking at the songs that didn't make it, and I'm like, wow, that's a whole other really cool show right there. So, as you can hear, it was a pretty good year for music. Can't cram them all into one Modcast. I wish I could. I know some people try to do that, but I got you 20 of what I like, and then there's a sort of third sort of bonus set, I guess. I hate to call them runners-up. That sounds trivial, but they're not runners-up. It's a video set. You can check it out on the Modcast homepage at MrSuave.com. It's pretty cool tracks there, too. All right, one more set for you with some great garage rockin', power poppin' tracks. Listen up.
I
a comic collector, a TV detective. I'm king at the weekend with ink on my fingers and I stand elected. I'm a fan club fanatic, a new age romancer, a superconductor, a music constructor, last of the pop addicts. I'm a sonic defender, a record revolver. I'm down with the kids, got stars on my lids, and up with the collar. Broadcast the beefcake, you station controller. Don't lie what I see, but maybe that's me. I'm sure feeling older. TV detective. I'm king at the weekend with ink on my fingers and I stand elected. And I'm her memorabilia. She's only happy when she's here at mine, with all of the posters, cards and gear, bubblegum monsters for a dime. All of her invitations and all of her come see what I found. Wouldn't be half as much fun if Peter P wasn't fighting crime.
Opening garden dreams and looking through a rainbow sea, they search for the truth. Open up the back door to see a light there once more, just sipping wine in the sun. I want to know the truth about the place you go, 'cause finding you can be so hard, you always play the winning card. Emily Lane, it's a little bit strange how you played the game, now you're stuck in the lane. Emily Lane, it's a little bit strange how you played the game, now you're stuck in the lane. Drenching through the morning dew on all night when I can't find you, just can't see through. I open up the bar door to see a line there once more, just sipping wine in the sun. I want to lets you go. Despite that you can be so hard, you always play the winning card. Emily Lane, it's a little bit strange how you played the game. Now you're stuck in the lane. Emily Lane, it's a little bit strange how you played the game. Now you're stuck in the lane. I'm stuck in a landslide. I can't see because I'm lost all of my pride. I can't jump up off this ride, this ride. Emily Lane, it's a little bit strange how you played the game. Now you're stuck in the lane. Emily Lane, it's a little bit strange how you played the game. Now you're stuck in the lane. Living on FaceTime every single night. So much video chat, think I'm going blind. This is what I want, I can't help that. I can't get enough. Oh, this is what I want, can you help me out this time? All day long I'd wait, all day long I'd wait. Don't keep me out of sight. All day long I'd wait. So far away now, everyone I know. I'll fill the space between with another show. This is what I want, I can't help that. I can't get enough. Oh, this is what I want, will we make it out this time? All day long I'd wait, all day long I'd wait. Don't keep me out of sight. All day long I'd wait. Yeah, this is what I want, I can't help that. I can't get enough. Oh, this is what I want, will we make it out this time? All day long I'd wait, all day long I'd wait. Don't keep me out of sight. All day long I'd wait, I'd wait, I'd wait, I'd wait, I'd wait, I'd wait, yeah.
Okay, regular listeners will know and remember that one of my favorite bands of the past half decade or so has been Diamond Hands. They never disappoint my ears. Let me say it again, they never disappoint my ears. During the coronavirus lockdown, they came up with this great song about being forced to hunker in place and live life digitally. That song there was Hideaway. It was released last year during the first lockdown. And as much as I like more music from them, here's hoping they don't have to do any more songs well hidden away. Right ahead of them was the Sun Chimes with Emily Lane, the lead track to their new album, The Sands of Time. It's probably the best album from Aaron Hemington, who is really the heart and soul of the Sun Chimes, joined by other musicians at times. And anyhow, his best album, maybe that's saying something, because the veteran power popper, he has a decade's worth of pretty good releases. This one transcends, though, kind of channels his penchants for mid-60s pop and psychedelia into a very modern and contemporary bit of sunshiny pop music. I don't know how else to put it. That's kind of a West Coast feel, believe it or not. It's just, really classic in that sense, and yet doesn't feel dated at all. Before that, Leslie Pereira and the Lazy Heroes. That was a fun listen about a playground crush and a first kiss, called In My Backyard, off of their album Good Karma from Big Stir Records. And before them was a British power pop band with a very American power pop sound, at least to my ears. That was It's Karma, It's Cool, with the 60s pop psych, bass-driven bubblegum monster. Well, it's not a bubblegum monster. It's called Bubblegum Monster. Anyhow, Bubblegum Monster is off of their debut album, Woke Up in Hollywood. That's out from Cool Cat Music. And just ahead of that was a band I discovered early last year. Instantly knew I was going to be listening to them for a long time. That's Kid Gulliver. They released some nice tunes this past year, including this one here, I Want to Be a Pop Star. And ahead of them, straight out of Cleveland, that's Herzog. Long-running indie power poppers have a new album coming soon. It's called Fiction Writer. A few of the tracks sort of semi-released in 2020. Maybe it was an EP, I'm not sure. Anyhow, that one, I'm Being Replaced. Great song. And starting things out, a band that needs no introduction around here. That was garage rock vets Muck and the Myers with She Blocked My Number. Always know you're going to get a good listen when you see that it's Muck and the Myers. So, that's a wrap on 2020 musically for me. 2021 could be even better. Could be, never know. We shall see. As you muddle along this year, be sure and look me up on social media. I'm out there on the interwebs, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course on the Modcast homepage at MrSuave.com. Leave me a comment, send me a message, something, let me know what you think. You like it, you love it, you hate it. Just let me know. I've got lots of good ideas for this year, and I'm hoping to feature more interviews with bands and artists, as well as more guest hosts, DJs, and so on. So keep streaming, and be sure to let me know what you think. Now, got one more track for you, and this one always gets me when I hear it. In fact, the moment I heard it, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of melancholy and wistful note. Gave me sort of a chill. It was early in the spring last year. None of us were used to the new lockdown, quarantine stuff going on. We were all freaked out, taking our temperatures, washing our hands. Hell, I'm not used to that stuff now. Anyhow, this song just nailed the moment for me. Lydia Knight, lead singer of The Regrets, has talked about the song a lot, and it actually wasn't meant to be a sort of quarantine anthem, but it definitely turned into that. It was actually written a few weeks ahead of the first quarantine orders, but the kind of lo-fi production lets her voice sort of dreamily float over the music. But it's all right in step with kind of the slow down and look at your life message that it has. It represents 2020 pretty well, I think. So, saying goodbye to 2020, finally. I know we're all glad to do that. We're still hopeful for 2021, as much of a dumpster fire as it has already been. It could get better, like the music. I'm trusting it will. Anyhow, here is The Regrets with What Am I Gonna Do Today? I'm Mr. Suave. Thanks for listening.
What am I gonna do today? Is it gonna slip away? I don't wanna do whatever we do, as long as it's with you. As long as it's with you. Both of us are always waiting for a time with nothing in our way. Both of us anticipating for a day that can turn into tomorrow without saying goodbye. What am I gonna do today? Is it gonna slip away? I don't wanna do whatever we do, as long as it's with you. What am I gonna do today? Is it gonna slip away? I don't wanna do whatever we do, as long as it's with you. As long as it's with you. When you come home, what do you see? Is it the same for you as it is for me? Are you lost? Are you cold? Is it a day that can turn into tomorrow without saying goodbye? What am I gonna do today? Is it gonna slip away? Well, I don't wanna do whatever we do, as long as it's with you. As long as it's with you.